Hello, this is Patrick Findaro, co-owner of Visa Franchise and Vetted Biz. Just wanted to give a little update on the CARE Act. In addition to the $1,200 that most Americans are going to be receiving, there's also $349 billion allocated to the SBA in the form of the Paycheck Protection Program. We've been getting a lot of inquiries on who is eligible. Just wanted to go through the program real quickly. Small businesses up to 500 employees are eligible for this. That does include franchises, also includes businesses that have 20% or more ownership from a foreign national. There was some ambiguity if it would be included in the first application. It clearly said no, that it needed to be a U.S. citizen or permanent resident. Now that the application has been approved, that's fine. If you're on some non-temporary visa like the E2 visa or the L1 visa, you can still get approved for this program. Or if you have a minority or majority owner, it will still be included. We're going through the steps ourselves. At Visa Franchise, we've gone through the application process with Chase. We're in the middle of the process rather. So really important, how to apply, you got to reach out to your banker. Hopefully you already have a relationship, checking relationship, credit card, and possibly other lines of credit with a bank. Call your banker today, understand how you can get the application in as soon as you can. If the bank right now isn't accepting you to apply for the SBA loan program, some of the large banks require that you had a pre-existing lending relationship, so not just a business checking account. Then you should really reach out to your community banks. Google around where you live, understand who the small banks are, and reach out today, because there are some smaller banks that have already done SBA lending or are getting positioned to do SBA lending, and they will take in new clients that you didn't already have a relationship with that bank. And this could be a good opportunity for them also to extend their capabilities for some new small business owners. The term and interest rates. So the term is, it's a 2-year loan where for the first few months there's no payment of principal nor interest payments that are required, and there's no prepayment penalties throughout the entire 2 years. The interest payment is 1%, and there is a forgivable portion of the loan. The forgivable portion of the loan should be basically 2.5 times the payroll and associated employee costs. One of the questions are franchises eligible for the SBA PPP loan program? Yes, franchises are eligible. There was some uncertainty as the affiliated requirements. With the affiliation requirements, some private equity funded businesses and venture capital funded businesses are not eligible for the SBA PPP loan program. So a question we've gotten a few times now is, what is the maximum loan amount? And it's the lesser of $10 million or 2.5 times the average payroll costs. How you calculate the maximum loan amount is a bit unclear. We're going through the process ourselves. Going on the SBA loan website, they give guidance it's the last 12 months. Well, exactly last 12 months from March 31st, from when we submit the loan application. It's not so clear, where banks are saying it's the 2019 average monthly payroll costs. There's been a lot of questions about what is the payroll cost. Does that include salaries, wages? Yes, it does. It also includes healthcare benefits, commissions, and a few other employee benefits. There's been some questions between the SBA, the lenders like Chase, on what exactly is included in that, and hopefully in the coming days that will be cleared up. The government has allocated $349 billion to the program, but given that there are over 1 million small businesses that are eligible for this program, many of them will be requesting $50,000, $70,000, $100,000 plus from the program, and you can do a simple calculation that there isn't enough to meet the requirements of these businesses. There's also some large businesses like Shake Shack, for example, that there is an exemption for large businesses in the restaurant space that have multiple locations where they can still benefit from this program. So not only are you competing for priority with other small business owners, but you also are competing with some very large restaurant groups that have multiple locations with thousands of employees on payroll, however scattered across different locations.